There we go. Wonderful. Thank you. So this meeting has resumed, and our next item is T 34.49. Council Fletcher held this item, so she's not here, so I'll continue to hold it. We'll move on to TE 34.60. 324 Cherry Street and 429 and 455 Lakeshore Boulevard East.
Oh, it's at 10. Okay.
Oh, that's a 10.
10, yeah, my apologies. So
Okay.
we'll just go to one item.
Okay, that's a timed item. Actually, all right. So we'll go to TE 34.1, naming of an existing public lane located north of Robinson Street, extending easterly from Palmerston Avenue. Deputy Malik, that's your item.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to move the staff recommendations, please.
All those in favor, opposed, carried. T 34.2, renaming of Ramsden Park Road. Councilor Sachs.
Moving the staff recommendations.
All those in favor, opposed, carried. T 34.3, naming of a public lane west of Yonge Street, north of McPherson Avenue. Councilor Sachs.
I move approval.
All those in favor, opposed, carried. T 34.4, naming of an existing public lane south of College Street, east of Euclid Avenue, being the north and south segment of the lane. Councilor Sachs.
I move approval.
Those in favor, opposed, carried. The next item is for Councilor Fletcher. I'll hold it for her. She's not here. Item 5. Item 6 and 7 is also Councilor Fletcher. I will hold it for her. T 34.165, naming of an existing public lane located west of Vaughan Road, north of Ellsworth Avenue. Councilor Madlow. 165.
And may I just have a moment as I move it just to say a few words about the individual that we're honoring?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
So on behalf of our community, I'm very honored to name this lane after Aaron Levy. For over 30 years, Mr. Levy owned and operated Levy's, a family clothing store at 541 St. Clair Avenue West. And from the early 1970s into the late 2000s, the store was an anchor of the St. Clair West community. At its height, the business expanded to 3 locations, even being featured on Eye on Toronto and frequently cited in the media as a formidable competitor to the major retailers such as Winners and the Bay. Some even refer to it as sort of the original Winners. So I've heard from many neighbors about their fond memories of visiting Levy's, finding beautiful fashions, and with the help of Aaron Levy and his wife. It was a real family business. This specific laneway that this motion is seeking to name is deeply tied to the store's history, as it was the primary access point Aaron Levy used for 3 decades to manage shipments. And the family also owned the building for many years, deepening their roots at the location. So very sadly, as Aaron Levy is recently navigating some very serious health challenges, his family is very eager to cement his 30-year legacy in the neighborhood that he helped build with the naming of Aaron Levy Lane. And on behalf of his family and the community, it is my heartfelt pleasure to be able to move this motion.
Great. Thank you. So all those in favor, opposed, carried, unanimous. Item 49 is Councilor Fletcher held that, so I will hold it for her. So the rest of the items, I'm gonna go to item 104.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
T 34.104, initial findings report, transit priority measures to support the 505 Dundas 6-minute network. Councilor Bravo, you want to move that?
I'm sorry, no, I had held that because I had
sorry.
an amendment.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to move my amendment.
Okay, there's an amendment.
And the same on the next item as well, 105.
Okay. All those in favor of the amendment? Opposed, carried. Item is amended. All those in favor? Opposed, carried. I do have new sheets in front of me. So all my holes from yesterday, I don't have. So thanks for that, Deputy Malik. T 34.105, transit priority measures to support transit divisions during construction on King Street West. Deputy Malik.
I'd like to move my amendment.
Okay. I'll post it. All those in favor? Opposed, carried. Items amended. All those in favor? Opposed, carried.
Thank you.
T 34.106, Metrolinx Ontario Line long-term temporary road closure, temporary delegation of authority, and update on Liberty New Street. That was held-
Councillor Fletcher had held that.
yes, I was just told that. Okay, I will continue to hold. T 34.110, 355 Adelaide Street West, construction staging area. Deputy Mayor Malik.
Yeah, I'd like to move my amendment, please.
Okay. All those in favor? Opposed, carried. Item is amended. All those in favor? Opposed, carried. T 34.113, Richmond Street West, 471 Richmond Street West, and 38 Camden Street, construction staging area. Deputy Mayor Malik.
I'd like to move my amendment, please.
All those in favor? Opposed, carried. Item is amended. All those in favor? Opposed, carried. T 34.129, that's Council Fletcher. I will hold it for her. Do we know if she's on her way? TE 34.144, temporary adjustments to traffic and parking regulations for 2026 Distillery Winter Village. That's still being worked on, so I will hold that. TE 34.148, Castle Frank Road and South Drive pedestrian crossing protection. We have speakers on that item. Right. George Bell, are you here? George Bell? Okay, Councilor Sachs?
Yes, as I said yesterday, I want to defer this to the January meeting, please.
Okay, do you have a motion for that? Yes, all those in favor? Opposed, carried.
And similarly with the next one.
T 34.149, Castle Frank Road and South Drive, non-delegated pedestrian crossing protection. George Bell is not here. Motion? All those in favor? Opposed, carried. Deferred to the January meeting. T 34. Do you need the second, Councilor Fletcher, or are you good? Do you need the second? Okay. I will hold items 158, one for Councilor Fletcher. T 34.164, Shaftesbury Avenue parking amendments, Councilor Sachs.
This is not ready. The report isn't doing what I asked for. I'm waiting for revisions.
So we'll hold this item. T 34.166, 1113 to 1125 Dundas Street West, construction staging area. Deputy Mayor Malik.
I'd like to move my amendments, please.
Okay. All those in favor of the amendment? Opposed, carried. Item is amended. All in favor? Opposed, carried. T 34.200, reopening 2026. TE 31.32, 666 Spadina Avenue, encroachment
This
appeals.
one's not ready. Hold it, please.
I'm still opening it. Encroachment
Okay.
appeals.
Already.
It's been reopened already? Okay. 1 second. Let's just get this. Yeah. Okay. New business T34, advancing work on Bremner Boulevard pedestrian safety improvement. Move added by Deputy Mayor Malik. All those in favor? Opposed, carried. Okay. New business added. Okay, let's go back to Councilor Fletcher's items. T34.5, naming an existing public lane located north of Eastern Avenue between Berkshire Avenue and Rushbrook Avenue.
Yes, this to be named after Valerie Ma, who was well-known woman in the Chinese community in Toronto and in East Chinatown particularly, and in Bruce School, and in establishing the day-long kindergarten system that we have today. So very much, and it's near Bruce School, so very nice name.
All right, all those in favor? Opposed, carried. Thank you. T34.6, naming of a public lane located east of Logan Avenue, west of Morse Street. Councillor Fletcher.
Very sweet name that was chosen by the community, Sunday Muse, for everything people do in laneways in my ward on the weekends. So that would be the name I would ask for support.
All those in favor? Opposed, carried. T34.7, naming of an existing public lane located south of Queen Street East between Empire Avenue and Booth Avenue. Councillor Fletcher.
Yes, this is to be named after Sister Gwen Smith, who was a member of the Sisters of St. Joseph's, which is a very, very progressive Catholic order. She was a tireless advocate for the poor and disadvantaged, built women's housing long ago on Queen Street, community gardens. There's nothing that she didn't do. She was fearless and fierce and deserves a place in our road system. So this is for Sister Gwen.
Interesting. All those in favor? Opposed, carried. I used to, anyways, work in a nunnery for a little while.
She's pretty amazing.
Yeah, Sisters of St. Joseph's. That's passed. Okay.
I just want to tell one little more thing, that the Red Door, everybody knows about the Red Door shelter, but it got its name because Reverend Ray McCleary painted the door of his manse red and told all the women and children that lived on Bolton, you can always come to my manse for safety. The Red Door is where you can come when you're experiencing family violence. And that is the name of that. We've named things after him. But Sister Gwen would say, I can remember Reverend Ray yelling, come to the Red Door. So it's his history of this part of the city that's just beautiful, and I'm happy to have that named after this wonderful woman. Thank you for letting me tell you that story.
Thank you for that story. Okay, T34.49, 65 Oakwin Street zoning bylaw amendment decision report. Councillor Fletcher, you held that one.
I'm just going to send that without Rex, please.
Okay, all those in favor? Opposed, carried. Okay, here we go. All those in favor? Opposed, carried. Okay, I think
I could also release the one that you called earlier, Mr. Chair, for the Eastview Board.
Yeah, let me actually, there's a few here that I think I held for you. Let me just find them. Other non-timed items.
158.
106, did you want to deal with that now?
106.
Well, 106, I have one more amendment for that. 158 is the Eastview Board that I held yesterday. 34158, I can let that, I'm happy to move that.
1 second. 106.
I'm still holding that because there's one more amendment
Okay.
that the clerks are getting this morning.
Sorry.
129, I'll continue to
Wait.
hold.
Okay.
And then 158, I will move those recommendations, please.
Sorry, 158. T34.158, appointment of community members to the Eastview Neighborhood Community Center Board of Management. Councillor Fletcher.
Moving that, thank you.
All those in favor? Opposed, carried. And Councillor Bradford's not here. The rest of the items I have so far are timed items for 10 o'clock. So we did the 9:30s. So we still have 5 minutes before it's 10. Sorry, 2:17?
Yes.
Don't go away yet. 2:17.
Not going anywhere.
Yeah, I think he would be actually, because it's his item, right? Yeah, we should probably wait till Councilor Bradford. Do we know he's coming? Is he coming? I don't know.
You have to finish it.
Well, we'll hold it for a while.
New business is the same.
We're doing good time today, so that's promising.
No.
That's what you just said.
The one that I sent this morning.
So, yeah, and that's one that would, yeah, I put an amendment on it and then we were, communication.
What number is that?
256.
256? T 34.256, advancing work on Brimner Boulevard pedestrian safety improvement. Deputy Mayor Malik.
I'd like to move the recommendations in my letter, please.
All those in favor, opposed, carried. Okay, that's done. Good. All right, it's 10 o'clock. We could get to the 10 a.m. items now. All righty, team's ready to go. TE 34.60, 324 Cherry Street and 429 and 455 Lakeshore Boulevard East, official plan and zoning bylaw amendment. Councilor Deputy Mayor Malik. Item
Sorry,
60.
can you just say the item number again?
Item 60.
60, yes. Okay. I'd like to move the staff recommendations, please.
Okay, all those in favor, opposed, carried. T 34.78, 59 High Park Boulevard, application for fence. We have speakers on this item. Silvano Guzzo and Susan Guzzo. Are you here? Yeah, just, you have 3 minutes each. Or together you have 6 minutes. You may start.
Okay, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Silvano. I'm the co-owner of 59 High Park Boulevard with my wife, Susan. I just want to give a few background facts about this property if you're not familiar with High Park Boulevard in the west end of the city. And then my wife will follow up with the reasoning why we built the fence the way it is. High Park Boulevard is a sloping street that slopes from Ronsonsvale into the park and drops about almost 1 foot for every house until you get to Parkside Drive. And then it drops about 20 feet into the park. So our property is about 15 inches, probably 1.5 feet higher than the property to the west of us. So when we built our fence looks high on that side because our property itself is 1.5 feet higher than the property next to us. In addition, we have a 15-foot swim spa hot tub in the backyard, and there is a concrete platform that surrounds the entire swim spa. So when you're actually standing on the platform, the height of the backyard is now almost 30 inches higher than my next door neighbor. So from my backyard, the fence doesn't look very high. From his backyard, it might look very high, but that neighbor approves of my fence. And the back part of the fence is behind my garage and behind my other neighbors' garages. And those neighbors also approve of the height of my fence. So I'd like to pass it on to my wife, Susan, to give you more criteria on why we built the fence.
Hi, good morning, Chair and committee members. So there are 3 reasons. So again, I'm the co-owner with my husband. So there are 3 reasons why we're seeking a fence height exemption. And the primary reason, well, one reason is that we have the support of the only 2 affected neighbors, those being 61 High Park Boulevard to the west of us and 292 Wright Avenue, which is the south of us. And I would refer you to tab D of our application for fence exemption that was submitted in 2024, which has 2 letters, one from each of the neighbors, signed by the neighbors supporting our application. So they support the exemption. The second reason is for privacy. My husband touched on that a little bit. 292, the south-facing neighbor, has large windows that overlook our backyard. And with the raised platform, they're sort of overlooking us. And the fence at the regular height, we would essentially see the back of their garage. So it's this combination of privacy and, aesthetics to some extent. But there's no issue with overlooking of our west side neighbor, but you wouldn't build a larger fence on the back and then a shorter one on the side. It would look weird. So, you want to keep it consistent on both sides. And I would refer to tab C with a series of photographs that show the backyards in question. And this is tab C of our original application for exemption, which I think the chair and the committee have. And the final reason is for safety and to protect our small dogs. We have small dogs, and High Park is notorious for coyote intrusions. We know coyotes can leap 6-foot fences with ease. And both those 2 neighbors in question, so 292 Wright Avenue and 61 High Park Boulevard, have open yards. In other words, coyotes.
Do you have a printout of those items that you're referencing?
I do,
Put it on the screen in front of you, just so that the public can see it.
okay, which one? So
Oh, okay, okay. I'm just,
so item D is the 2 letters of support. I don't know which way to face the screen. There's one. So that's 292 Wright Avenue is the letter of support. Can you actually see that?
yeah.
Yep. And then I'm just going to flip it over. And the second letter of support is from 61 High Park Boulevard. So again, those are the only 2 neighbors at issue in terms of the fence panels, and both of those neighbors support our application for exemption. And I would point to, so the final reason I was mentioning for safety reasons, now I don't have pictures of obviously my neighbors' yards, but I mean, we've seen coyotes going into neighbors' yards, and since those are 2 open yards that would be able to access our fence, we have tiny dogs, coyotes could leap over the fence, and we've seen them frequently in our neighbors roaming up and down the streets, and sort of heard negative, bad stories. We don't want anything to happen to our small animals. Just by way of final comment, there's no negative safety impact of our fence height. In other words, it's in backyards, so it's not impeding anyone's driveway, visibility to the street, or anything like that. In fact, it's barely visible to 292. I would point to page 12 of the report. The report for action that was prepared, I think, for the committee by the Central District Manager, Investigation Services. So this is a photograph from page 12 of their report. I mean, you can see just, this tiny little panel is the extent of which they can see our fence behind their garage. And I'll just, again, similar, turn to page 7 of this report to show that there's not much visible from 61 High Park Boulevard also. Pardon me. Because you can see this is their garage. So again, backyard, most of the fence is alongside their garage. So they're seeing just, a little bit at the front. So no one's vision is being blocked. There's no safety issues. In fact, it probably makes, their yard a bit more safe, as well as making our yard a bit more safe. So again, for those reasons, we ask for the exemption. Again, we have the support of the only 2 affected neighbors, and for all the reasons that we've described, privacy, safety.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, any questions for Deputy? No? Oh, okay. Councillor Perks.
Yeah, questions of staff. So this file's been around for a little while. Can you explain the origin of the file? Why did you go look at this fence?
Through you, Chair, we did receive a complaint in 2024, which initiated the reactive attendance by municipal licensing standards.
Okay, so it was a complaint. And, I understand that there is a difference in the heights between the 2 properties. How do we typically manage that?
The way that the bylaw is written, it specifically speaks to measuring 4 feet out from each side of the fence to accommodate for any delineation in the grades between the 2 properties. And so in this case, you have to take the raised height of the fence from the interior of 59 High Park to the adjoining properties next door at a much lower grade, and then subtracting the median height of those.
So the bylaw already accounts for slope?
Yes, it does.
Okay, thank you. So my questions.
To speak?
Yeah. So I'm going to move the staff recommendation, which is to refuse. I understand that, some people, you've spoken to some of your neighbors and they're fine, but there still was a complaint, so someone's not fine. And also, I understand about the slope issue, but our bylaw is designed to accommodate where there is a slope already. One of your fences is a full meter higher than the bylaw, and the other is 3/4 of a meter higher than the bylaw. So for those reasons, I'll be supporting the staff recommendation.
Okay. All those in favor? Opposed, carried. Next item is T 34.79, 65 Mayfield Avenue, application for fence exemption. Councilor Perks.
Okay, Mr. Chair, I've received correspondence from the property owner that they cannot attend today, and they've asked me to defer consideration until, I guess it would be the January member. The November meeting is just organizing, right? Yeah, so I'll move to defer it to the January meeting.
Okay, okay, all those in favor, defer to January. Opposed, carried. T 34.80, 45 Monty Avenue, application for fence exemption. Councilor Perks.
I'll move the staff recommendations.
All those in favor, opposed, carried. T 34.81, 49 Gilbert Avenue, application for fence exemption. Councilor Bravo sent me a message saying that she's assisting someone in distress. So I'm gonna hold this for her. Item 82 is also Councilor Bravo. I'm gonna hold for her. 83 is Councilor Bravo. I will hold for her as well. T 34.84. So I'm holding some items for the council who's not present. So just have to wait. She's on her way. Okay. T 34.84. 64 Castle Frank Crescent, application for fence exemption. We do have a speaker on this item. Online, Marisa Keating.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Chair. Can you hear me?
Yes, 3 minutes, go ahead.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of Community Council. My name is Marisa Keating, and I'm a lawyer with Castles, Brock, and Blackwell. We are counsel to the applicant in this matter, Miss Joanne Terrence. Our client submitted an application for a fence exemption for the existing fence constructed on her property at 64 Castle Frank Crescent. And I'm here today on her behalf to request that Community Council approve the application. Our client's application, which was appended to our July 3rd correspondence, confirms that the fence respects and reinforces the existing neighborhood character. By way of background, the fence was constructed in a collaborative effort between Ms. Terrence and her adjacent neighbors at 58 and 70 Castle Frank Crescent. Our client and her neighbors worked together to approve a uniform design, hired the same contractor to install the fences in all of their rear yards, including along their mutual property lines. It's our submission that the fence maintains privacy without creating any adverse sight lines and will not result in any adverse impacts. Both adjacent residential property owners have expressed their support for our client's application, along with the Roseland Heights School of the Arts, which is immediately adjacent to the north of our client's property. The school also submitted a letter of support noting that the shared fence at the northern property line is the same height as the school's fence. In fact, in photographs appended to our client's application, the school's existing chain link fence actually appears slightly taller. So for those reasons, the requested relief, in our view, from the city's fence bylaw is appropriate. And on behalf of our client, we respectfully request the Community Council approve the application with no conditions. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Sachs. Councillor Sachs.
Please clarify that it's Rosedale School of the Arts, not Roseline. I think I heard the.
That's Rosedale School of the Arts.
Yes, thank you.
Councillor Sachs. Just missed your deputant, but we're on item 84, 64 Castle Frank Crescent. It's an application for fence exemption.
This on Castle Frank? Yes, I have a motion. which is to approve the fence. All the budding neighbors consented. There is a fence of equivalent height on just next to them. So
Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? Carried. T 34.85, 307 Rushton Road, application for fence exemption. We do have speakers on this item. Peter Thorning, are you here? Online?
For council?
Peter Thorning? Eric Mezin? Eric Mezin? Michelle Sanborn. Okay, Councillor Matlow.
Yeah, I only heard from both the complainant and the applicant, the appellant, within 2 days before this meeting, and there is an ongoing dispute. So I want to see if we can make an effort to resolve the differences of opinion if possible. So I'm going to defer it to when is the next?
January.
Yeah, so we'll defer it until then and work this through.
Actually, it says deferred to November 25th.
Yeah,
That's fine. Okay, November 25th, it's okay? Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? Carried. TE 34.86, 367 Spadina Road, application for fence exemption. Councillor Matlow.
I will move to approve the exemption.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, there it is. Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? Carried. TE 34.87, 4 Whitewood Park, application for fence exemption. Councillor Matlow.
Sorry to do this to you again. It's called Witchwood Park.
Sorry, Richwood, thank you.
And I move to approve the exemption.
Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Oh, display the motion, sorry. Witchwood Park, okay.
Wrong park.
Okay, all those in favor?
yes,
Opposed?
yes.
Carried. T 34.88, 511 Church Street, application for fence exemption. I'm going to move to approve this. 88. I have a motion. We're just waiting for the item to come. There it is. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. T 34.89, 98 Degrassi Street, application for fence exemption. Council Fletcher.
Yeah, I just want to hold this because I think I'm going to just defer that indefinitely, but I didn't let the clerks know. So I'll come back to that.
Well, we could just do it now. And
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to defer this indefinitely. All those in favor? Opposed?
What
Carried.
number was that?
Item 89.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's all good. Thank you. T 34.90, 12 Beach Avenue, application for fence exemption. We do have speakers on this item. Oh, yeah. Leon Cormac, you're online?
Thank you. It's Michelle Cormac speaking first, and then my husband Ian will speak after me. I'm one of the co-owners at 10 Beach Avenue. First, I just wanted to thank the city for their responsiveness on this particular issue. We support the city's recommendation to not grant the exemption, and as the only affected neighbor in this particular case, because the wall is only on between our two property lines, I just wanted to say that we support that. It significantly impacts us. That's it. I'll turn it over to my husband, Ian.
Hello, my name's Ian Cormack, and I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to speak here today on this issue. I, too, have reviewed the application for fence exemption by our neighbors at 12 Beach Avenue, and I support the recommendation not to grant an exemption. The fence has a negative impact on us. And in fact, I have submitted some diagrams, a set of 4 diagrams drawn to scale that outline the situation as it's presented from our side of the property, in addition to the city report. So they should be available for viewing at this point. I understand I did receive confirmation that they had been received yesterday.
Okay.
So one thing I did need clarification, and it's not to walk through the individual parameters of the diagram, it's just outline some of the measurements, the technical measurements. It's more a case of I need clarification on what fence or barrier is being discussed. Is it the 2.3 meter chain link fence? Does it include the 2.6 meter brick retaining wall on top of which 30 centimeter high planters have been installed? And then the chain link adds an additional 2.1 meters in height, creating a barrier of more than 4.7 meters when measured from the south side. Now, based on the measurements highlighted in the report for action dated June 5th, I believe the full structure is being evaluated. Is that correct?
We cannot answer any of your questions, but perhaps your Councillor Bradford, who's here, can maybe ask on your behalf when it's time for him to speak.
Okay, certainly. I believe we should be considering all elements of the fence structure, which collectively is more than 4.7 meters. And I see that there has a recommendation in the report is to refuse to grant an exemption to the bylaw on height requirements. I'm also aware that there was previously a notice of violation issued for the fence in the rear yard not to exceed 2 meters in height. If that is the case, now the other question is, can I expect that anything in that structure that exceeds 2 meters in height shall be removed? Specifically, does it include removing any part of the retaining wall which exceeds 2 meters? Will this include any planters and vegetation that are in violation of this height? And specifically, there is a climbing hydrangea that dominates the vegetation. And can you confirm that this must be maintained at a height not to exceed 2 meters? I know you can't answer those questions to me right now, but I just table them for discussion. And one thing that I would like to raise as a property owner is the concern that people are using retaining walls to alter the natural slope or topography of their property to affect fence height. In this case alone, terracing a backyard has enabled a wall well in excess of 2 meters. And when I look at it, every half a meter increase on one side enables a quarter of a meter increase in the height of the fence is acceptable. I think it's a bit of a dangerous precedent. And then what I'd also like to know, if the exemption is not granted, what happens next? Thank you very much for the opportunity in your time of consideration.
Thank you. Any questions for the deputant? Seeing none. Councillor Bradford?
Questions to staff, please.
Okay.
Over to bylaw. Per Michelle and Ian's deputation there, could you provide some clarification around which parts and sections of the fence that we're talking about?
Through you, Chair, it is specific to the chain link fence that's located on top of the retaining wall.
Okay. Could you orient us where that is on the property?
It's between 10 and 12 Beach, between the lot lines of the property.
Okay, so it's the division between the two houses. It's not the fence at the back of the property. It's not the fence on the other side.
Correct.
Okay. Any other commentary reflecting on the questions there from Ian?
The retaining wall does support 12 Beach in the sense that there is multiple variations of grade throughout the property, but specific to Chapter 447 and the application of the height concern, it's specific to the chain link fence that's located on top of the retaining wall itself.
So it's measured from the top of the retaining wall, and depending on the height of the retaining wall, that, you know, you could have a different top line of the fence as it goes across, depending on how the retaining wall retains the grade.
It's measured from the grade of each portion of the ground, which does include parts of the retaining wall itself, but the total height is from the top of the chain link fence.
Understood. Okay. Hope that was helpful for you, Ian. Thank you.
Okay, Councillor Bradford.
Okay. We just reached out, or we just heard from Ian and Michelle, I think, yesterday with their submission. So thanks for reaching out to our office. I had actually heard from the homeowner who's making the application several weeks ago, and I guess I should start by saying I'm moving a motion to defer this. The homeowner, Ian, Michelle, your next door neighbor, the homeowner at 12 asked to defer this until the next meeting of Toronto East Shore Community Council. Is it November, not January? Did we just hear it was January? Oh, okay.
So, but it's your choice if you want to do that. Because it's the first meeting, we try not to fill it up too much because we may have some new members.
But you're okay with this?
Yes. We're
Okay,
fine.
so sorry. So we'll just do it here in November, and you know, more opportunity for conversation between 10 and 12, I suppose. But also the applicant asked for a deferral. So,
All those in favor for deferral? Opposed, carried. Thank you. T 34.95, 40 Myrtle Avenue, application to remove a private tree. That was deferred from the May meeting. We do have speakers on this item.
This is the female ginkgo tree that can come out. I did get one. Nothing is done casually. This is a very serious matter, and yes, I'll move the recommendation to remove it.
Anything on there?
Sorry, we have no speakers on this item. Councillor Fletcher,
Yes.
item 95.
We're in 95.
Yes, I just moved that to remove it based on staff's.
You want to remove it? Okay.
Yes, staff have written to us after Councillor Matlow raised the issue of female ginkgo trees, and I don't know how many more of them are, but having had dispensation to remove that, and pardon? Yeah, and then there'll be another lovely tree.
Okay, there's the motion.
its
All those in
place. Thank
favor?
you.
Opposed? Carried. All righty. T 34.91, 366 St. What time is it? Okay. Okay, we'll go back to the Councilor Bravo's items.
Okay. Just one sec, okay? Let me.
We're a little ahead of 10:30, so we'll go back to Councilor Bravo's items. That's just, okay. Okay, there's a lot of, T 34.81, 409 Gilbert Avenue, application for fence exemption. I think we have speakers on here.
Yes.
I just want to we've let the clerk know that we will be deferring this item to the new term. I haven't had a chance to speak with the parties. There's a conflict.
This
I'm just
gentleman's
letting you
been-
know. Hi. We haven't had a chance to speak. So if you can let the gentleman know that he can speak now or again? Okay, so I'll go talk to him.
Okay, so
Thanks.
sir, Mr. Donag and Goldstein?
The new chairman. So let's put it to January. Over, and we need
I
to
know.
be able to
Yeah,
get
sorry.
our stuff organized, because otherwise I don't want to miss anything and
Yeah,
have to have a call back.
if you want me to slow down, let me know.
Yeah, please.
No worries.
think so.
We're not as, yesterday was, today,
I
so.
know it was everything, so we just want to make sure that we have all.
Okay. All right, so we're going to defer item 81 to January. You want to have that motion?
No, because we just got.
Okay. The clerk needs to prepare that motion. Do you want me to just?
You want to just
Okay, we'll just let it go. Okay. So we'll defer item 81 to January. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. T34.82, 328 Glenholm Avenue, application for fence exemption. Councillor Bravo.
I would like to move approval and let the clerks know.
Okay. No, for approval. Okay. You need the motion for that? Okay. 82, we're approving. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. T34.83, 133 Robina Avenue, application for fence exemption. We do have a speaker on this item.
I also want to let you know that I'll be moving deferral to January.
Okay. Genevieve Van Hollen, are you here? Are you here? Online? Genevieve?
Hi, yes.
Hi, so Councillor Bravo is actually going to defer this item to January. So you can speak to it now, or you can speak to it in January. Would you like to speak?
Sure. I could just say it now.
Okay, go ahead. Sure. You have 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, committee members. Thank you for your time. I'm here today to request a fence height exemption for my property. Our yard features a swimming pool, which makes choosing the right enclosure a matter of critical safety. Because our property sits on a sloping yard, a standard fence installation is highly challenging. To follow the natural contour of the land while keeping the structure secure, we must use a stepped fence design. As a result of this stepping method, the fence will, at certain specific points along the downhill slope, exceed the standard 2-meter height limit. However, this extra height is not for privacy or aesthetics. It is a structural necessity driven by the terrain. If we do not step the fence up at these low points, the variable ground levels would create dangerous gaps underneath the fence or lower the effective height on the uphill side. Either scenario would compromise the security of our pool area. An exemption to allow these sections to slightly exceed 2 meters ensures a complete, continuous, gap-free perimeter. This design strictly prevents small children or pets from slipping underneath or easily scaling the barrier from the high side of the slope. This minor variance directly serves the public interest by establishing the safest possible barrier for our yard. I respectfully ask for your approval of this exemption to help keep my property and our community safe. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Councillor Bravo would like to defer this to January. Do you have a motion? Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, so it's past 10:30. T34.91, 366 St. John's Road, application to remove a private tree. We do have speakers on this item. 91. Online. Kelly Scott, are you there? Kelly?
Hello, yes, I'm here.
Hi, 3 minutes, go ahead.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Kelly Scott. Oh, I should first ask, may I have presenter privileges, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
You have it now.
I want you to know that, pardon me?
You do have it, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I'm Kelly Scott. I own 368 St. John's Road, and I'm the co-applicant with my neighbor at 366 for the removal of a boundary tree, which is very sad for both of us. We don't want to see it go, but we've decided that there's some severe issues with it. And over the past 16 years, I've had 2 opportunities to have the tree removed. But both times I declined because I wanted to keep the tree and I had no concept of how large it would become. So I've been trying to find alternatives to removals for the past 5 years since 2021. And all our arborists have told me that there's no way to mitigate the problem without severely harming the tree. So if I could share my screen now, I'm sorry, I'm not, oh, here we go, right there. Share. Oh dear. Okay, I'm gonna darn it. Oh shoot. I was hoping this would be simple to share the pitch. There we go. Can you see them?
Not yet.
Okay. I'm on somebody else's computer, I'm afraid. You can't display shared. You know what, guys? I'm not going to be able to share them. Shoot. Is it possible? I didn't ask for sharing privileges on this person's computer. Is it possible to defer this? I know that if Gord Parks
Sure.
is there, he has
We
seen the photos.
We can defer it if you.
Council Perk says we could defer the item.
Oh, thank you so much. Can we defer into, does that mean it's deferred until January?
Yeah.
January, yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
I've never seen read in public.
Yeah, we do. Council matters.
St. John's Road. That's
Okay, so we're going to defer this item to January. Sorry, I think we may have other speakers on this. Nicole Corrado.
Okay.
Nicole Corrado here.
Yes, I am. If I'm not mistaken, I think this was the tree, the pine tree or spruce tree that was leaning. Because if the tree's leaning, I saw the pictures of the leaning. That you could put a brace, because I've actually seen braces put on trees that are leaning like that. Then they work quite well. I've seen it done. A brace could be on the outside. It's also, if there's any hollows inside, you can put a brace on the inside as well. It has been done. I think the city should be subsidizing preservation of these trees because it's expensive to cut them, but you could instead put a brace. And if this tree is buckling a driveway or a walkway or a patio, you could always just move that with redesign it so that it kind of accommodate the tree. Trees generally don't damage pipes or foundations of homes. That's pretty much unheard of. So I would recommend doing everything you can to preserve the tree.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Perks, this is your item, right?
Yeah, I'll move to, as I said, I'll move to defer it.
Move to defer to January. Yeah, all those in favor, opposed, carried. T 34.92, 63 Albany Avenue, interim approach to address city-owned female ginkgo tree. We do have speakers on this item. Number 92. Oh, Nicole Corrado. Nicole?
Yeah, I was doing a little bit of research about the female ginkgos. It's possible that if there's no other males in the area, that the female ginkgo may have just one male branch. And if that's the case, you can just remove that specific branch. You don't have to remove the whole tree, that it won't produce any more fruit. And if there's other male trees in the area, what you could do is you could, instead of cutting the tree, you could relocate the ginkgo far away from any males. So that it won't produce any fruit. You could plant it in a park. It could be a beautiful tree, and it would not cause any harm to anybody. Would not produce the fruit anymore, but it would just be a lovely shade tree, and that would be a lot nicer than cutting the tree. That they're looking at possibility of relocating the tree, or looking at if there's male trees around, or if the tree is a female tree and there's no male trees around, it could be that there's just a few male branches in the tree that you could remove without moving the tree at all. You could just maintain the tree by removing the male branches, so it only has female branches and won't produce any fruit anymore. So that looking at ways to prevent it from producing fruit without actually destroying the tree. There's ways you can do that without destroying the tree.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Councilor Sachs?
Yes, I'm move approval.
Okay, all those in favor? Opposed, carried. T 34.93. Sorry, what are we approving? The removal? Ginkgo trees we're now removing, right? Staff's
Make sure you're moving staff recs.
Okay, we're moving staff's recommendation. All those in favor of moving staff's recs? That's carried. T 34.93, 233 Dunvegan Road, application to remove a private tree. I don't think don't see any speakers.
Pardon me?
There's a speaker, okay.
Who is it?
Jack Greenberg.
On the list.
Yes. Okay, Jack Greenberg.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, 3 minutes, go ahead.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the Community Council. My name is Jack Greenberg, and I appear as counsel for the owners of 233 Dunvegan and the adjoining neighbor at 235 Dunvegan in connection with this appeal from the Urban Forestry's denial of a permit to remove a private tree located in the rear of 233 Dunvegan. I hope you've had an opportunity to review the comments and pictures I previously filed. This appeal is really a question of two competing interests and which one is paramount. On the one hand, we have the interest of these owners to be able to use their backyards with their children and their extended families in safety and without fear of being struck by the numerous oversized nuts which fall from significant heights from the tree in question. These oversized nuts are not the walnuts you find at a grocery store. They have a hard shell and approach 2.5 to 3 inches in diameter and weigh up to 98 grams and fall from about 60 to 70 feet. The force with which they land could easily cause serious personal injury and possibly death. On the other hand, we have Urban Forestry, which in support of the denial of the permit filed a report. It's our position that this report is severely flawed and completely misses the point for the following reasons. One, it suggests that the only consideration is whether the tree is healthy and doesn't recognize the fact that under section 813-18.1, there is a specific exemption allowable even though the tree is healthy. Two, although recognizing that the problem here is large falling nuts, it fails to deal with that issue at all. Rather, it refers, and I quote, to fallen leaves, flowers, fruits, and twigs, which are not the problem at all, and that problem can be cured by maintenance. There is no amount of maintenance that can resolve the falling nut problem. Three, 50% of the report invokes the greater good theory and suggests that the continued existence of the tree creates various alleged unsupported benefits, and I quote from the report. A sustainable and expanding urban forest supports the City of Toronto's goals to improve quality of life and well-being of its residents. A higher density of trees in the neighborhood is shown to significantly improve physical and mental well-being by reducing blood pressure, decreasing stress levels, and promoting physical activity. Economic benefits include enhancements to property values, increased tourism, and consumer spending. It's ironic that the first sentence in their report is exactly the issue here. Not only are these alleged suggested benefits non-existent, but the actual situation here is the negative or opposite of all of these alleged benefits. In the application at hand, this tree and its related problem has definitely not improved the quality of life and well-being of anyone. Conversely, it has elevated the blood pressure and stress levels of these owners and has decreased their physical activity in their backyards. Their property values have declined due to this real and present danger, and there is absolutely no positive impact on tourism and consumer spending. There are no benefits to these property owners and definitely none to the local community that has absolutely no access to this tree nor the properties in question. Although it may be supportable for city-owned trees in the public domain, it obviously does not apply here for a private tree on private
Sir,
property.
final thoughts, please. It's your time.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nicole Nicarado? Nicole?
Yes, I was going to say that I would say that walnuts are really not, they don't weigh that much. They really, even if they fall from a tree, they can't really cause that much damage. I mean, it might seem that way. They might look big, but they really only weigh a few grams. And I'd say if there's a problem with them falling on your car, I mean, you can put the car in the garage. And the thing is, the tree, is healthy and maintainable. This is a native tree and an important food source for animals and for people. I would suggest contacting an organization called Not Far from the Tree. They will pick up fruit which includes, yes, nuts are a type of fruit, and they will pick them up and distribute them to food banks where they actually can be ground into nut butters, and nut butters are one of the things that are used to actually deal with hunger issues, because they produce a lot of really healthy proteins. It's an excellent plant-based protein, And I would suggest learning to coexist with the tree. Yes, so the trees hitting the nuts hitting you on the head are no doubt annoying. But I've been hit on the head by red-winged blackbirds. I don't avoid trees or the park because there's red-winged blackbirds nesting and hit me in the head. I just laugh and just move. So yeah, so the tree it might be annoying, but it is a natural thing, and you do have to learn to live with the trees. Now
Okay,
there
thank
are
you.
contraceptives that for trees that work too, but I don't know if it's necessary in this case.
Thank you. Thank you. Councillor Matlow.
Yeah, I'm excuse me. I'm moving to support the permit to remove the tree and to have it replaced with 5 new trees. This is the reason why we have appeals. It's one thing to look at the condition of the tree itself, but we also need to look at the context and the condition of the residents and what they are experiencing. The last deputant talked about walnuts dropping on cars. That has nothing to do with what we are dealing with here at the Greenbergs' home. This is about, in their yard, these very large, very heavy walnuts are dropping on the property where the family spends time, including where their daughter and their grandchild spends time. There is a genuine, authentic safety concern that they've raised and a real impact on their quality of life. So I support their request, and I hope that you do too.
Okay, Councillor Perks.
Yeah, I'll move the staff recommendation to deny.
Okay. Want to record a vote or? Okay. All those in favor of Councillor Matlow's motion? Okay, are we paying attention? All those in favor of Councillor Matlow's motion? All those opposed?
Okay, let's display Councillor Matlow's motions. Everybody knows.
I'm supporting the resident.
And then they would know.
Where the grandchild.
Okay, so let's just display and then we can go.
Okay, this is Councillor Matlow's motion. Okay, I'll support. All those opposed? That loses on a tie. What does that mean?
So now you vote on Councillor Perks' motion.
Oh, Councillor Perks' motion?
To adopt staff recs, yeah.
What if that loses?
Not adopted. So there's no decision.
Oh, yeah, that's right. There's no decision. All right. All those in favor of Councillor Perks' motion? Save the tree. All those opposed? The tree is saved anyway. I'm all about kids and safety, you know. Okay, that's done. T 34.94, 32 Curzon Street, application to remove a city tree. That was deferred a few times. And I think we have two speakers on the item. Jeremy Chan, are you here? Jeremy?
Hi, yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Minutes, go ahead.
Yeah, actually, we've been working with staff and council on an ultimate solution and with Councilor Fletcher as well, so I don't have any further discussion for today.
Okay, thank you for being so succinct. Heather Parker. Make sure that the light is green. Is it green in front of you? Just so touch it, slide it. On the mic.
We were expecting Councillor Fletcher to bring forward an amended motion.
Yes, where's Councillor Fletcher?
The The discussion that we had in a site visit with her last week and subsequently was for an amendment. Instead of removing the whole tree, there would be approval for an injury to the tree root system, which would allow us to address our issue to reduce the size of the driveway island and resolve our problem at the same time as protect the tree.
Okay. Thank you. I will hold this item down for Councilor Fletcher. She just stepped away for a minute. Thank you. TE 34.96, 54 Gormley Avenue, application to remove a city-owned tree. We have speakers in this item? Motion to reopen. All those in favor, opposed, carried. 96.
Oh, yes. Here, it's hard to hear in the bus, but
I want to see it on here. Okay, go ahead. Have her speak. Go ahead. 3 minutes. I don't see it on my list, but sure. Okay, go ahead.
yes. Sorry about that. It's a bit hard to hear, but what I was going to say is that, again, with driveways and with patios and trees leading, you could always mitigate it, as you were pointing out. You could turn back the roots carefully. You could also just move the driveway or that patio in a way so that it can accommodate the tree. You can also, if there's leading, you can put braces. There's no need to completely destroy the tree to solve the structural issues. That you can always preserve the tree. We need to be preserving these trees in the city. I believe this is a sugar maple, I think, if I recall right. That's our national tree, and it'd be a shame to cut the tree to put in a driveway. And so there's no need to destroy the trees.
Okay, thank you for your comments. Councillor Matlow. Sorry, am I on the right one? Yeah.
Are we on 96?
96.
Yeah. So I move to approve the staff recommendations.
Okay, all those in favor? Opposed, carried. Okay, let's see where we're at now. 16? 1 second, let me just go through my list. 1 second.
Oh, that's right, we did.
1 second. I'm going through my list. 1 second. Let's actually introduce this item. T34, what number is that? I should introduce it. We're going to introduce Glen Home Boulevard traffic calming. I'll move that on behalf of Councilor Fletcher to introduce. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, that's been introduced. Do we have the motion for the Metrolinx item, 106? That's Councilor Fletcher, okay. 129 is Councilor Fletcher's as well. What about 144? I think Deputy Mayor Malik was holding that. Is the motion ready?
Yeah, I as far as I understand, my amendment is in hand now.
Okay.
Did you see the updated version? I just want to make sure she's fine.
You're okay with the updated version that was sent to you by staff?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll do that one then. T34.144, temporary adjustments to traffic and parking regulations for 2026 Distributed Winter Village. Deputy Mayor Malik.
There's two motions.
I'd like to.
There are two motions.
Yeah, I'd like to move my motions, please.
Okay. First motion. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Second motion. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Item as amended. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Wonderful. Okay. We'll now go to item. Is the Shaftesbury Avenue item ready yet? There was a motion.
After all that, we're going to go ahead with the original recommendations and approve it.
Okay. 164, no changes. Do I need to display it?
Nope.
Okay. All those in favor of staff's recs? Opposed?
Thank you.
Carried.
Thank you.
Okay. What about item 200? Okay, so we'll hold it down. All right, so since Councillor Bradford's here, T 34.217, reclassify Creek Place Laneway. I think Councillor Perks had some questions of staff.
I have questions of staff. Okay, first of all, let's situate ourselves. The reclassification of roads, this is something that you have a system in place for. Can you describe how that works?
Thank you for the question through the chair. Yes, there is some regular reviews of classification, and there is a technical analysis that went to council within the past 12 months. And so we do review regularly.
So council has given you the authority to do road reclassifications, and it's a technical process based on a number of measurements and so on, description of the road. Is that correct?
Yes, and we do also occasionally get requests to review classifications from councillors and from the public.
So you get requests, but I just want to be very clear in my mind. Council has established that it's your authority to make that decision.
Correct.
Okay. The City of Toronto has umpteen different kinds of laneways. Some of them are close to being roads, some of them maybe are roads, some of them never will be. Configurations vary wildly, right?
Correct, especially in Toronto and East York, where there are older laneways and follow a variety of different design standards.
Okay. Moving to the other issue, we have a winter maintenance contract that sets levels of clearing based on the road classification and a number of other factors, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And we have a contract for that establishes the responsibility the contractor has based on the classification, correct?
Correct, plus we do also have some in-house winter services.
Okay. And there's been a variety of efforts to sort of examine that and review the service levels. I know Councillor Sachs recently had something on pedestrian access that went through or is going to infrastructure and environment. So we have a system for routinely checking the service levels in place already.
Correct. There's been quite a lot of discussion on service levels about winter in the past couple of years.
Would you recommend that councillors just sort of arbitrarily start moving motions to change the service level on a given road, or would you prefer that we had a consistent and traceable standard?
We're always interested in hearing about unique challenges within council districts, and we're always happy to consider both one-offs. But of course, as things begin to impact other types of service levels, that's where we always think it's smart to do a holistic review, including when Councillor Sachs and council asked us to review laneway servicing, which we did report back to IEC in May about the financial implications of servicing laneways completely through plowing.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions of staff? Councillor Bradford?
Thanks. Through you, Mr. Chair. From your assessment, is Creek Place a typical laneway in the city, or does it have some unique characteristics?
Through the chair, thank you, Councillor. We do think Creek Place is unique. It has a narrow mouth that looks like a laneway, but then it opens up to an 8-meter right-of-way that has full access for 9 properties. And we do think that that warrants a look at it.
8 meters. Okay, 8 meters wide. And how wide is a typical road? Local road?
They can vary from 6.6 to 8.5 meters, typically.
This is on the upper end width of a local road?
Exactly, yes.
Is this road paved?
Yes.
Are there curbs?
Yes.
Concrete poured curbs?
Correct, yes.
Does it look like a laneway behind a building on Danforth, or does it look like a local road? Just observationally.
Our laneways come in a variety of different sizes and shapes, and so I think it warrants.
Let me ask it this way: how many 8-meter laneways do you have in the city?
I don't know that number off the top of my head.
A lot of them, or not a lot of them?
Again, we have a really strong mix of different types of laneways that follow different.
Let me try again. Would you suggest that majority of the laneways, and you should know this, a majority of the laneways in the city of Toronto are closer to 8 meters or less?
Less.
Would the majority of the laneways in the city of Toronto have concrete curbs?
Some of them do, actually. I'd
Majority,
say
though.
not the majority, no.
Okay. All right. How many properties on this section have their primary access via Creek Place?
As shared in your written, I believe it's 9.
How many of the total, and how many total properties?
I believe there's 12 or 13 properties.
13. So 70% have primary access off of this 8-meter wide paved road with a curb.
Correct.
Correct. Okay. And if you look at Dawes Road, which for everyone's understanding, because I can appreciate not everyone's been there, Dawes Road is effectively the backyard of these properties because they front onto Creek Place. What is the grade differential between Dawes Road and these backyards?
It's huge.
It's huge.
Quite big.
So accessing it off of Dawes is not practical or feasible?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. Does the city of Toronto use Creek Place as an access point for the park that is immediately to the east that fronts on this road with the concrete curb?
Transportation Services doesn't utilize it. I can't speak to the parks, but I think
does the park staff? Would you be surprised if residents on that street had indicated that the city of Toronto actually uses that as a access point to service that park, or does that kind of seem like it would make sense?
I can't speak to the park's operations, but it does seem that it would be reasonable to drive down it to access the park in certain occasions.
Yeah. Have staff confirmed that, for the question about whether or not this is possible, have staff confirmed that winter servicing on this stretch of roadway is possible?
As shared, our concern is the northern end where it does look like more of a typical laneway where it's narrow and there's the garage entrances. So when going down with a plow, we do think that there'll be challenges where snow will be pushed up. But the southern end where it is wider, of course, it is similar to other local roads and we don't have concerns.
My question was, is it possible?
Of course.
Of course. Of course it's possible. And in our discussions around this with your staff, we were asked, have you asked the residents that they would be aware that they would have windrows that would accumulate in their driveways? Yes, they are aware of that. But would it also be an alternative to direct the plow towards the park frontage on the east side of the street? Is that possible?
Yes, we can change the plow, but that doesn't mean that there will not still be remaining snow that will pile to
in
one
East
side.
York, we're used to windrows. I think that would be okay. It was just, it was a funny question from your staff if I had asked the residents if they were aware that there would be a windrow. How long is Creek Place?
100 and so meters.
120 meters. Okay, thanks. That's all my questions.
Thank you.
I have questions.
Go ahead, Councilor Bradford.
I need to understand
the implications of attending to the the needs that the councillors identifying for access in terms of other laneways. Is it accurate? I think staff have told me that there are 47,133 residentially zoned lots in 2,433 distinct public laneways, and the vast majority, around 42,000, are in Toronto and East York. Wouldn't there be equal arguments for why they should receive the same level of service that is being proposed here in this letter?
Thanks to the chair. There is a number of laneways where sole access for properties are on that laneway. Laneways, again, throughout Toronto and East York have different design contexts. But I think as the former motion about laneway access, it was something that council discussed and considered, but due to cost and operational challenges, determined that it would not move forward for servicing. I think what makes this motion different is that the motion is seeking to review the classification.
Okay. And is this the best way to make that happen? Like, what would be the normal course for seeking to review the classification of a laneway into a regular street?
We do routinely receive emails from councillor's office requesting if a road has been reclassified recently or reviewed, in which then staff would start a process to do that technical analysis, if the technical analysis was warranted. There are some streets that we could easily say, no, this is not an arterial, so we won't be going through a classification. In this case, there are some unique components, and we did think it would be good to complete that technical analysis of the classification.
So this is a request for a technical analysis of reclassification? Or is this a request to make a designation without the assessment?
From a staff lens, we would be completing the technical analysis needed and reporting back on the findings of that analysis.
And by doing it, okay, so I have a lot of laneways with a lot of laneway housing, and there's many people who live in those, and that's their primary access to their residence. Should I be bringing letters for every laneway for study of reclassification? So what are the bigger city policy implications? I know that Ward 11 would be in this situation, Ward 4, Councillor Fletcher's ward, certainly Davenport, and we have many, many thousands of people living in this situation. What would be the policy implications of doing this kind of spot assessment for the greater the demands that are going to come to other councillors who have a huge stock of this kind of housing, which is city policy, encouraged by city policy?
Agreed, there are implications. In May, we reported out about reviewing all laneways and the level of service they received, including providing advice and guidance on the operational challenges, along with the financial requirements to begin servicing at a higher level. I do think that, again, we remain open that if there are unique situations where the context of the street, including the width and other components, if they're quite different than the traditional narrow laneway, we are continuing to be open to discuss.
When this was reported in May, did you receive a request at the time? Was there a motion or anything to actually review this, or in advance of that report? I'm trying to understand why we're doing this today, and how what the implications are for other councillors, other wards, and other property owners who may want to see some action.
This request was not linked to that laneway motion from May.
Okay, so it could have been part of that entire review had it been brought forward earlier. Thank you.
Right. Just one question for me. What is staff's recommendation on this item?
We do believe that Creek Place should be reviewed for the classification, and if it warrants to be a local, then for it to receive services aligned with the local.
But based on all the information that's been gathered here today, though, right? What is your expert recommendation?
I think Creek Place is right on the line, and that is why we would like to complete the technical analysis of if this qualifies as a local. It doesn't go connect through, which a local would, so there would still need to be, reversing and turning around. But as Councillor Bradford shared, it is wider and a bit different than many other streets and many other laneways across Toronto and East York. And so we continue to recommend to review the classification.
Yeah, I do, because this is an interesting one because of a lane that was changed to a street, but kept the laneway name in a development off Dundas. And the Director of Transportation couldn't have snow clearing because it was a lane, and yet it was a subdivision agreement that now has homes on it. So I think there's some of these that certainly need to be reviewed without saying all lanes are being reviewed. There's a certain width. What is the width that you'd consider for a reclassification, basically?
There's a number of technical components that are reviewed for reclassification. It recently went to council, maybe in late 25. We can recirculate all of the technical components that are reviewed.
Well, I'm asking about the width. Laneway width typically, street width typically 6 meters, 4 meters. What is a typical laneway width in Toronto?
Laneways tend to be less than 6 meters, and local roads tend to be more than 6.6 meters wide.
I have, most local roads are 6 meters in the old part of the city. And most lanes are how big? I'm sorry, I didn't hear how wide that was in Councillor Bradford's, the width of that creek.
Through the chair, the northern end is less than 6 meters, and the southern end is around 8 meters.
8 meters, so larger than some. So it certainly could be reviewed. There may be others, once you've set the laneway standard, that others might, if there's 8-meter lanes, that's quite a large lane. It's bigger than most roads in my ward. So it's with this, so you could do a review without making the change. So in other words, review that, then come back and say, yes, this section, 8 meters is standard, it's larger than other roads in that same ward or other areas. And I don't think we can ask you to look at other 8-meter wide roads today. But if something's 8 meters, I don't want to just do that in a snap, but I certainly want to look at it. I have a little skinny filmic lane and I have a big fat filmic lane off of Dundas. And transportation didn't think we needed to look at that for snow clearing. So, and yet it is a road, and they just kept the name lane. So there's our little problem. It's worth having a look at that, I think, and Councillor Bradford, probably a good idea to review that, and then when that comes back, there'll be some other ones we found that are 8 meters wide. I don't think there's any 8-meter wide lanes across. Are there many 8-meter wide lanes in the Toronto East York Community Council area that weren't built as subdivisions?
Through the chair, I don't know how many, but it is something that we can review based on our databases. So we can definitely take a look at how many. I do want to just provide clarity that the local reclassification is on several points of analysis, not just width.
Right, but generally road width is from right-of-way to right-of-way, whereas a width from a lane is from garage to garage, property line to property line, correct?
That's correct. And locals typically have sidewalk on one side, but not always.
Right. So anyway, yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay, Councillor Perks wants a second
Well,
round.
yeah, just, I think I can help us clarify something. So in the normal course, you would get a request to review whether something should be reclassified. You would do your technical analysis. You would make a recommendation. And then if council reclassifies, then you would look at the service levels and change the service levels. Is that correct?
Yes, if it warranted a technical analysis, then we would complete the technical analysis. And if it was reclassed to whatever it was reclassed to, it would begin to receive the service across all of our service levels.
The motion in front of us, the second half of it, says, and pending completion of the reclassification, provide winter maintenance service on Creek Place. That's not the normal way we would do things, is it?
That's not how we would typically do a reclassification. We would wait until the classification component is complete. There are times that we are asked to enhance service levels on a variety of topics, and that's discussed at a council level.
And so on, yeah. But, so, okay, I think I understand now. Thank you.
Councillor Sachs?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Becky. I mean, I know how hard your team works. How long will it take, given all the factors that Councillor Bradford's just been through and the 7 years of history he's described, could you complete a review and determine whether it's practicable to plow this lane in, I don't know, 3 months?
Through the chair, just for a point of clarity, it's not about whether it's practical, but whether or not it warrants the reclassification and then have services aligned with that classification. We do think that we can complete the reclassification before the end of the year.
Before the end of 2026?
Yes.
Is there... Several of us do have problems, right? We're encouraging people to live on these laneway houses, and then they get socked in, they don't have a way to get in and out. Is it possible for us to say to you, if you are able to satisfy yourselves that it's practical, technically practicable to provide winter service to this piece of public right away, I don't know what we'll call it, pending review. I mean, the point is we could get really big snows in December. I know we usually get more later, but is there some language that would allow you to make sure it's technically practicable before you start service without forcing everybody to wait for another whole council cycle in the new year? I mean, by the time we get to a January meeting and a February council, the winter's half over.
I think that's what this motion is seeking, is for us to provide service in this winter season now, along with other maintenance that is related to a local. So I think that is what the motion states. I'm sorry if I don't quite understand.
Okay. Let me try again.
And we do think, as the question came, can we service this street?
Yes.
The answer is yes. There will be operational challenges in the narrow northern section. And of course, enhanced service costs additional funding. So those are the components that we've discussed previously.
Okay, but let me just make sure that I heard you. It is technically practicable to provide winter access to these houses.
Today, the laneway is salted, as is the laneways across the city with our in-house service. We have shared that we do believe that a pickup truck plow could service and plow this. That is not a service that is typically extended to a local, and this motion seeks for us to service this aligned with a local street, which would mean a pickup truck or a smaller piece of winter equipment driving down at the thresholds that are established in our winter service levels.
Okay, but to be clear, it is technically practical for you to provide service while you complete the review of possible reclassification.
Sorry, Councillor, I don't quite understand what you mean by practical. It is possible.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, well, I think we've beaten this horse to death here. Who wants to speak to this item? Okay, Councillor Burks.
Yeah, first of all, I want to begin, I have a motion. So this would replace Councillor Bradford's motion. Can
you explain what it...
Yeah, hang on. I'm having eye problems here. City Council requests the General Manager, Transportation Services, to review the road classification of Creek Place, including consideration of reclassifying the road from a public laneway to a local road, and report back to the TEYCC on the results of the review and any recommended changes, including any associated operational, legal, or implementation considerations as appropriate. So this is something we're all going to be struggling with a lot. And I will tell you, I have lost count of the number of times I have had constituents in my ward phone me and say, you need to change the level of snow service on my street, lane, road, whatever, all day, every day, especially in the winter. I get these calls. I don't know how many people whose front door opens onto a laneway, but it's not an uncommon condition in the former city of Toronto. There are plenty of them. And we have active policy in the city of Toronto encouraging that become even more common. So I think we have to be thoughtful about this. I think we have to proceed in a way that is fair and equitable. What I don't want to have happen is sort of a war of all against all, where it's just whichever councillor can get a motion through committee on a given day determines your level of service. I think we need to establish a service level that's fair and have a process that's transparent. My motion tries to do that. And this is language that I asked the Transportation Department to give me. I said, what would you consider to be a direction to you that sticks with those principles of being transparent and allows you to have the flexibility to do what we've already delegated to staff, the technical review? That's different from Councillor Bradford's motion. Councillor Bradford's motion tells them to undertake the work required to reclassify. It doesn't ask them the question, is this something we should reclassify? It tells them go do that work. But more importantly, it says, even before you've decided, even before you've come to a conclusion about whether the service level should change in this place, start providing snow clearing. And that's where it goes over the line for me. I shudder to think what it would be like trying to explain to constituents that the way your snow plowing is determined isn't something that's fair and equitable across the city, isn't a standard that we've arrived at. It's just literally, totally political. I don't think solving problems that way builds confidence in government. I don't think that it's fair. I don't think that it's a way that we can account for how public money is spent. We spend public money based on, whether your councillor feels like it or not. That's just not a way to run a government. So, as much as I think there's a real case on this particular laneway that it should be reviewed, and that's why I'm moving a request that they review it, I think equally we could make that case on other laneways. So I encourage you to support a way of doing this that's fair, transparent, equitable, and responsible with public money instead of arbitrary and opaque. Thank you.
Councillor Perks, what I do see about your motion, though, there's no date there. Can we at least say, it says...
How long would it take to do the review?
You said that it's already on the way and you're doing it, so maybe the November meeting?
Sure, by November. That's fine. You can have, yeah, good. Happy to do that.
Yeah, October 25th.
Hello.
Sorry, go ahead, Councillor Fletcher.
Yeah, I am going to speak about this. Because I was very frustrated last winter, and I think that's a good approach because there's probably a few lanes, not every lane. When you build your laneway house, you're not expecting to have snow. That's very clear, snow clear. But when you have a laneway that's wider than your regular street size, people have a right to say what's happened. So I just have one that I was very frustrated with transportation, which was building a lot of new townhomes off of Dundas, and they kept the name Lane. No snow clearing of any kind the entire winter. Every time I'd ask for that, no snow clearing. There's a tiny little lane, probably 4 meters wide, and then the extension is an extension of another street called Boston. There are anomalies everywhere in the old city of Toronto. It was not built on subdivision. It was not built with wide roads. It was not built in that way. So we're going to find anomalies, and I think it's fair to say what's an anomaly and how are we going to deal with that anomaly. So Councillor Perks, basically, I don't think it's fair to say my anomalies here do X. And I'll recall when I said my anomalies here, little street, do X, that created a big fuss. So I had to say, study my anomaly and tell me if it's an anomaly. If it's an anomaly, we'll deal with an anomaly. If it's not an anomaly, then it's just a regular old lane like all of the ones that we have. So I think that is the prudent way to go. And it is going to council. So let's be prudent here, because we could have every lane in Toronto, East York as part of that. That's all. Also, I know Councillor Carroll has asked and been very sharp about it with staff about motions coming and the financial impact of the motions we're moving. We used to get a sheet. Back in the days we had paper, the yellow sheet that told you everything. Is that a zero? Is that this much? Is that? We don't have that. She's asked to have that reinstated. You're nodding. She was very cross after the last meeting. So this is also one of those things that would have one of those, I'll call them yellow sheets, attached to that. Whether we think it's going to happen or not, she's already instructed the CFO to yellow sheet everything at this next meeting. So I think that's helpful to know that and to proceed in that way. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Bradford, you want to speak? Yeah. Anyone? Any other speaker? No. Councillor Bradford.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. Through you, and I just want to put some context in front for people, and I'll just show this because I'm not sure everyone's been out to the site. And I suspect everyone's.
Do you want to put it on the monitor, maybe?
Yeah. Am I able to do that?
Totally.
Hold my time.
Yeah.
What?
Just place it flat, I think.
Oh dear, sorry, cackle.
They're setting it up over there. There it is.
So this is the Dawes Road access or frontage to the 13 residents that we're talking about here. And as staff said, pretty significant grade. These houses were not constructed with a frontage on Dawes. We know that. If you've been there, you can see that. So everyone here at this committee could probably agree, I hope, that their access is not off Dawes when we look at that. If we go on to Creek Place, oh, there it is. That kind of looks more like the frontages of these houses. And there's 13 houses on this street. There you go. Here's your 8-meter street with your concrete curbs and your pavement. Probably looks like it could use a repave, but here's the park that the City of Toronto uses this street to access. It's a street. And 70%, 9 out of the 13 houses on this 120-meter street, which Google calls Dawes Road, access it here. This is a street. This is not a laneway behind some shops on Danforth. This is something that these folks are paying taxes and ought to have basic services like snow removal to get into their houses. Do you think these folks should not have snow removal to get into their houses? Or are you suggesting that they should get into their houses off of Dawes Road? Maybe they should get into their houses down here. Let's give our heads a shake here, guys. Like, this is not complicated. But I'll just stay here.
Okay.
I'm going to just speak from here. The folks who have lived here on Creek Place have faced long-standing challenges. It predated my time in council, and I worked with them when I got there to get a name for this street. Because you know what they had challenges? They had challenges getting their garbage picked up. They had challenges getting their garbage picked up. They had challenges getting Canada Post deliveries. So we actually had a staff report back in 2019, and I want to read you a quote from that staff report because I suspect many of you didn't. Probably not even Councillor Perks. Quote, "These residents do not have access to the front of their homes on Dawes Road." We all agree with that. "There is no sidewalk or walkway to the front of the properties, and access is from the rear of the properties, off of this unnamed lane. This naming is being requested in hopes of improving services such as garbage collection and proper snow removal in the winter." Now, the point's been made, staff have delegated authority. Staff can do this. 7 years, delegated authority, staff's decision. Staff wrote a report already. They already looked at it in 2019, said, yeah, this is a problem. Where is it? Where was it in the May report? IEC. Where was it? So sometimes as a local councillor, you need to understand the context on the ground, like we did in 2019, when we were told this would originally address it. And, you know, for most laneways, it's a secondary point of access. But I think all of us can look at that and understand that's not a secondary point of access. We're not building laneway suites on the driveways and the front doors of these primary residences. And as you can see from what resembles more like a ravine topography as it touches Dawes, you're not building a laneway suite back there. So this is a one-off situation. And the idea that Councillor Perks thinks these guys should miss another winter cycle, and I get the impression that, you know, there are folks here in this building that don't want to do it. I get that. But this is, you know, these are taxpayers. These are folks who have suffered far too long to get basic services, snow removal, so that they can get into their houses, so that they can get to their driveways. And I have conversations with the staff and they're asking me, oh, geez, are they going to be ready for the windrows? I think they would welcome the windrows because that means that their road would have been plowed like everybody else. And it shouldn't be such a battle. And this is emblematic of a system that's broken. And there are a bunch of status quo people that think that's good enough and, oh, delegate it to staff. Let's have another report. Let's have another study. We don't need another study. Just give your heads a shake. Look at the context. It's 120 meters. Let's get it done today. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other speakers on the item? It's a tough one to swallow. Are you going to speak to it? No, actually, Councillor Bradford was the last speaker. That's correct. Okay.
Recorded vote, please.
Is there anybody online? Can't see it, okay. All those in favor of motion by Councillor Perks, Councillor Bravo, Councillor Fletcher. I'm sorry, is there anybody online? Okay. Those opposed? Councillor Bradford, Councillor Moyes, Councillor Sachs, Councillor Matlow, that loses. All in favor of adopting the item? Councillor Matlow, Councillor Sachs, Councillor Moyes, Councillor Bradford, and Councillor Bravo. All those opposed? In favor? Oh, and Councillor Perks. Okay, that carries unanimously.
We're almost to the end. Can we move the two new items?
We did one, we need to do the other.
Okay.
It's 257.
57?
257.
Okay, TE 34.257, Glenholm Boulevard traffic calming. Councillor Fletcher, I'm going to move this on her behalf. Oh. You know, it's okay. I'll just move for her. On behalf of Councillor Fletcher, all those in favor? Opposed? Carried. 94, T 34.94, 32 Corzon Street, application to remove a tree. Councillor Fletcher. Okay, I will hold 94 for her. I think 106 is Councillor Fletcher too, right? Yeah, so 106 is Councillor Fletcher, right? No, we did 95.
Wait, no, it was
I have a check mark. It was carried.
it was amended. Councillor, it's Councillor.
So all the items I think that we have remaining is all yours. So 95.
No, not all.
I'll say one is Sax's. One of them is Sax's. So nine. We passed them already. 94. Are you able to do 94?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So let's do 94. 32 Corzon Street.
Transportation staff were kind enough and forestry to come, and I'm just going to, I guess, we don't need to remove a tree in order to satisfy this, so I'm not sure that we have that wording. I guess it would be to deny the request, but there is a communication that has been sent with this from, I believe there was, supplementary report that transportation is allowing. Urban Forestry has agreed that the space can be moved back close to the tree, and there's no need to remove the tree. We've all agreed there's no need to take out the tree, that they can make changes to their space without harming the tree. Right?
So we're going to adopt staff's recs on this item?
Well, I'm not sure it would, to deny, yes, but with that proviso that because we've solved it.
Okay.
And I want to draw everybody's attention to the supplementary reports.
Okay, so we're moving staff's recs. Do we need to put a motion on the
And that
screen?
City Forestry has
Okay.
agreed to a plan to build out without the harming of the tree.
Okay, so all those in favor of moving staff's recs, opposed, carried. Wonderful. The next item is, so 106 is not ready, right?
Yeah, that's right.
95, we need to do 95.
I don't have 95 in front of me.
106 is ready.
So 95 is next.
Can I see your 95? I don't have it in front of me, I don't know why.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I didn't see 295. Is it there? Is 95 there? What number?
Is Myrtle, 40 Myrtle Avenue.
Oh, I did say take out the tree.
Okay, 40 Myrtle Avenue, item 95.
I thought I dealt with that, to say that the tree could be removed because it's part of the female ginkgo.
So this tree can be removed?
Yes.
Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, so we have 2 items left? 4?
Could you deal with the last 2, and then I'll deal with your 629.
Need a moment because there's some motions coming.
Oh, there's more motions coming in?
Well, motion amendments to the items that we have, so.
Oh, sorry, yes.
Prepare.
So,
We
okay.
need to,
It's showing 101 motions left.
Yes, we're going to take 15 minutes so staff can actually work on the amendments that on the remaining items. And I think there are 3 items left.
Pardon?
Okay,
I'm
thank you.
frozen. Oh, refresh.
Okay, 10-minute recess.
Good idea. 10-minute, love that.
5
Thank
to
you.
12. Thank you.
You're the very, very, very best.
Hi, everyone. Given that we don't have quorum, I've decided to rule by edict. And so we're going to get some things done. A little less conversation, a little more action. So, snow plowing for every street, lane, sidewalk, you name it. We don't have to redesignate, reclassify. Let's just do it. That's an idea. That's right. But if you're opposed to drones, we're not doing it by drone. That's right. We're going to please everyone today. Oh my gosh. That's how we're pruning the trees. Anyway, any other requests, anyone? Is this live? What do we? Catered lunches.
It is live.
On behalf of the City of Toronto, we are now providing catered lunches.
There's a new chair.
Hi. You know, if I was thinking of ending my career, this might be the way to do it.
I can give you advice on that.
Anyway, back to your regularly scheduled program. I'd like to thank the people of Toronto for their Councillor Sachs, for the record, is considering moving a motion to have giraffes help with the pruning of tall trees. We're going to work on that. That's in your platform, isn't it, Brad? Yeah.
That was a commercial break, by the way. Councillor Matlow is going to sponsor lunch for everybody. All righty. Do we have quorum? 3, 4, 5. Yes. And more importantly, are the motions ready?
Councillor Sachs' motion is ready on 200.
Okay. Well, why don't we go to that one then? Okay. So T 34.200 reopening 2026.TE 31.32, 666 Spanana Avenue encroachment appeals. Councillor Sachs.
I have a motion. Thank you very much to everybody. This puts in all of the usual conditions for encroachment, sends the whole thing to council for final approval because we'll need an exemption to the donation policy. Thank you.
Okay, all those in favor? Opposed, carried. Item is amended. All those in favor? Opposed, carried.
The benches are going to be great.
Which other item do we have?
But anything else? Is 106 okay to go, or are you? 106?
Just,
106, yes.
okay, so 106 ready to go. Okay. So T 34.106 Metrolinx Ontario Line long-term temporary road closures, temporary delegation of authority, and update on Liberty New Street. And so that's Councillor Fletcher's item.
It's also Liberty Village, but most of it is in Ward 14.
It's on the screen, Councillor Fletcher.
Yeah, and then I have, this is going to City Council, and then there are some other issues related to a parking lot, and I don't see those on there. Did I miss that? Yes.
Rec 2?
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you very much. And then including the Okay, that's up there.
Okay.
And then also, as everybody knows, Metrolinx has refused to name, in a few cases actually, the location of the station based on geography. I think we have one more of those. It's Queen East or Chinatown. This is also Riverside and Leslieville. So there's a street that runs near the station called Strange Street. Nobody lives on Strange Street. And that could be Riverside Street, so the Leslieville station would be on Riverside Street and accomplish both of those things. So that name change is being suggested to council, plus all the green P issues, and plus all the large construction issues of having a second station go at Pape and Danforth.
No, Councillor Fletcher, I was wondering.
Kind of like Young and Eglinton. You know a little too well, Councillor Matlow.
No, Councillor Fletcher, there is one of the Metrolinx stations that is contentious in my ward as well.
That's contentious?
Yeah, they've named the first Parliament site,
right?
Which is Parliament and Front. What's it called again? In Councillor Premier Malik's ward. Called again?
Maybe you guys could have a coffee and talk about Metrolinx.
Yeah, we could have
just
more
go
than we
for
could
it,
have.
yeah.
Forget coffee.
I'll buy
We're
you
having
guys a
drinks.
coffee. There you
It's
go.
a drinks. But I've already asked in another motion to change the station name.
Yeah.
Which,
Okay, maybe when it comes to council, this is coming to council, right?
Yes.
Okay, I can maybe make an amendment. Liberty Village, not Liberty Village, sorry.
yeah, why don't you amend it there? It's coming to council.
Yeah,
It's
okay,
going
I'll
there.
amend it there,
Yeah,
okay.
That's fine.
Why can't I think of it right now? The Winter Village, we just worked on it. Distillery District, thank you.
What's it called?
Corktown to Distillery, yeah.
They call it Distillery District. Is it Corktown or Distillery District?
Well, it was originally
call
Corktown
it
Station.
whatever they
and
want.
Changed it.
Exactly, and they changed it to Distillery District. Anyway.
You're going to die? We'll help you. No, don't die.
All right,
Don't die.
okay. I'm going to move this motion. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Item is amended. All
Let
in
me
favor?
have a moment on Metrolinx. Come
Yes.
on. Only $5 billion and 15 kilometers of pain.
Okay, so
Nice
we have
try.
one more item. What's going on?
I thought we had more.
Yeah, we have issued. They call it Distillery District Station. Why should be called either Corktown?
Sent a motion to you for that,
Okay.
Clerk.
So we have one more item. We're just waiting for the wording. Okay, so TE 34.129, 629, 633, and 675 Eastern Avenue traffic control, signals, and traffic regulations. Councilor Fletcher.
Thank you. This is a new road. It's running from Eastern to Lakeshore. And there were many instructions about traffic mitigation that were included in the original motion when this was rezoned. I don't see, unfortunately, any of that associated with opening of this road. And we need to be extremely careful. And I will say to you, Councillor Bradford, that all of the traffic coming on Eastern Avenue along from the beaches, and that it's important that we have a clear understanding of any traffic mitigation measures, how that's going to look. There's new traffic lights. There's many different things happening here that were associated with all the small streets, including Leslie. This was actually when Leslie Street wasn't in my ward. It was in Ward 32. No, it was in Mary Margaret's ward. It was in Councillor McMahon's ward. So all of these things were looked at together. As far as there's another piece that was looked at, and opening up Woodfield Road when that was in former Councillor's Road in order to take the pressure off Eastern, move it onto Lakeshore, coming back and forth. That still hasn't been accomplished despite having been direction when the Gardner was taken down. That, my friends, was 2002. and that still hasn't been realized. So there are many little things here to fix. I've left a message and spoken to an agent for the developer, and also left messages with the developer, and I've been assured by staff that all the things that have to take place for this road, including the conveyance and the easements, will work. This is a private road. I haven't had many of those before. I haven't had any that's built, and then the city will take that as an easement and be able to use that for public purposes. So that's still in conveyance terms right now and should be finished. So that will come at the same time that, what's the name of that street? Creek Street? Creek Place, coming back on the 25th of November, since we can do business at that meeting. So it's being referred to that meeting of 25th with instructions to come back with the mitigation measures that staff were required to do, as well as this new road. So that's where we're at there.
Right. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Item is amended. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. The bills that 829 to 919 and 929 to 972 prepared for the July 8th and 9th, 2026 meeting of 34 of the Toronto East York Community Council be declared as bylaws and passed subject to section 226.9 of the City of Toronto Act 2006. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. A confirmatory bill to confirm the legislative proceedings of the Toronto and East York Community Council acting under delegated authority at meeting 34 on July 8th and 9th, 2026 be declared as bylaws and passed subject to section 226.9 of the City of Toronto Act 2006. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you, staff. Thank you, clerk. And Council Perks, it's your last meeting at TYCC. Thank you for your 20 plus years of service. Standing ovation. You're always welcome here.